or have also posted on those platforms. So our YouTube, our WhatsApp channel, and our LinkedIn page. This is where you can find all our details and past episodes, which would be helpful to you if you need them. So today we have a very interesting conversation. This is the first of our Value Loop series, the open discussion that we have, which we, of course, have a topic in the aspects of office politics and building relationship, office politics, building relationship and influence, which is a very exciting topic because everybody that is a working class citizen would want to tune in and understand how to go about the workplace, what you do, how do you do it, and stuff like that. Being work colleagues, being friends, we would all, our speakers today, we would put that all on the table and we would all digest it. So I will give a quick intro of our speakers. They're none other than the Value Loop team themselves. I'll start by giving a brief introduction while they would, obviously, before we start the conversation, they would give us brief highlights on why they are also qualified to speak on the Value Loop today. So first off, we have Oluwatosin Zubay. She is our top dog at the Value Loop, and we would like to welcome her as she turns on her camera and give us a wave while I introduce the rest of the team. We also have Mohammed Abubakar, who is also one of our top dogs here at the Value Loop. He will also be turning on his camera right about now, just for you to see him and give a wave. He had a very interesting topic during our first launch of the Value Loop, which was very insightful. So I think you should go back and watch those episodes. Next off, we have Usman Yahya, who is also another top dog. If you notice, I said everybody's a top dog because we are the Value Loop. We have a simple loop, as I say. And last but not the least, I am Apa Ali Babo, and we will be having this conversation today as an open conversation. So if at any point you feel like you would want to contribute, you can either raise your hand or you can drop a comment in the comment section and we will loop you in and then you can also start. So to start off the conversation, I would want to ask, what is office politics? What is building a relationship, and how does it influence what you do? Let's start randomly by picking on someone from the team and say, Mohammed, what would you want to tell us about office politics?
Good morning, all, and thank you, Abba, for that introduction. So politics basically means a relationship that one or more people have, right? It doesn't. When we look at politics in our own parlance, we all think about politicians, yeah, people playing party politics. But in life, so long as you're interacting with one or more persons, you are already in politics because it has to do a lot of give and take, a lot of leveraging on relationships you have with people so that you can get what it is that you want. So in the workspace, this comes to play. Like it's something that happens every day, whether we choose to acknowledge it or not. And I'm sure that during the course of the conversation today, we'll be able to shed more light on it and then speak on how that can make it an advantage for us while we work.
Very interesting. Thank you very much, Mohammed. Tosin. Hi, Tosin. Good morning. Good afternoon. I would
Good
want to hear your input
afternoon.
on this. As you are dressed like a very rich politician, let's hear what you have to say.
I wish. Anyways, yeah. So like Mohammed rightly said that politics, it's actually anywhere there is a group of people, there's politics. And this happens because people naturally compete, they collaborate and they also want to influence decisions to achieve either their own goals or business goals or both. So anywhere you have a group of people, there's politics. So it's now in the context of, is it used negatively or it is used positively to achieve that goal? And the common myth about politics, especially in the office, is usually that it is negative, because somehow people use that competition and use various means to also exert influence on others, which comes across as if they are kind of selfish, So basically, politics happens everywhere, not necessarily in the office. It happens anywhere you have a group of people. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Tosin. Usman, the politician, the street politician, with your snapback.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you guys again. For me, when we talk about politics, I feel politics is as old as the world itself. In as much as human has been in existence for so long, politics has been in existence for that long. They might not be called politics, but from what we've seen over time, everything we do is all about politics. It's like an unwritten rule. For example, you guys want to pick who is going to lead, either formal or informal. You are asking for opinions. You say, okay, two persons say this person. Out of four persons, two persons say we want this person. Majority carries the vote. It's not written, but it's the way it is. So whether we like it or not, politics has been part of our life, our homes, everything we do is all about politics. You want to buy a new thing in the house, you and your wife are thinking, okay, what should we buy? Should we buy the TV first, or we should buy the AC first? Then you'll be like, okay, since you guys have not decided, let's ask the children. That's basically what politics is all about. So it's a relationship, influence, power dynamics, is informal. People always feel politics is kind of semi-formal. To me, politics is informal. Your daily interaction, your back and forth, is all about politics. So it defines human existence itself. Thank you.
Great. I think from my end, office politics usually relates to your relationship, the influence, the power dynamics, stuff like that move and mold how the working environment turns into. And everybody here has mentioned something around, if there's a population of people, there's usually politics. There's a leadway where this person might be seen as being doing too much, or this person is doing too much politics. This person is not doing enough politics. This has come up. This person is not favored because he doesn't do eye service, or he doesn't do kissing up to the boss, or stuff like that. So, question to all of us here: what is too much politics? What is not doing politics? What is just politics in general? Like, today, we've spoken about majority takes the vote and stuff like that, but when it comes to office politics, you can be in the office, you might have your own favorites. There's a difference between politics and biases, because you know that this person can do it. So what if you're in a team where everybody is at the same efficiency, everybody's working the same? How do you now look at that power dynamic of where the politics comes in? What's the favorite, or who's the favorite to do this? Let's imagine a level playing field where everybody's at 100%. Like this now, if we were to do office politics, me and Usman, what would be the determining factor of him over me? It could be years of experience, it could be youth, it could be youthful exuberance, it could be strength, it could be anything. It could be that he has a better smile than me. So it leads into a lot of things. We already have comments going on. So, Tosin, what do you think the biases against the politics work for? You're muted.
So based on the discussion and this definition of what office politics is, fortunately, it is even something that you cannot avoid. this politics, you can't avoid it. You can't say, I'm not going to bring it to for them to, it is how you play it, how you navigate it. This is what is essential to how it comes up. And I spoke earlier about it being either negative or positive. So, and this is where emotional intelligence comes in. So, because you need to build trust, you need to be transparent, you need to be competent to be able to navigate it in such a way that it doesn't come off as if you are being selfish or you want to just make sure that your own decision taking over others. So the competition has to be built on trust, it has to be transparent, and you have to make your team or the people you are involved with to see the mutual benefit of this relationship you are having with them. So don't let it be a manipulative one or the one that is based on distance, or you have to ask people to say, okay, let's do this at the expense of their own decision. So to navigate it highly and build a trustworthy relationship, still needs to be somebody that has value, that brings value, because that is very essential. To be influential and to make people, listen to you, have that impact, value is very essential. So you need to bring value. Once you have value, it is even very easy for you to navigate because people would naturally tend towards you because you're credible. You do whatever you say, they know that okay, this guy, yeah, he can do this, or this girl, anything you take to them, they find a way around it. So that way you'll be able to navigate it in a healthy manner.
Well, so for me, yeah, I see politics in two ways. We have the positive aspect of office politics and we have the negative part of it. So whether you like it or not, even for career growth, you have to play a bit of politics. The other day I was just Mohammed about, or I was telling him about what we call recency bias. I don't know if you can remember more, where over time, people have been working from January to June. There's check-in by the end of June. But because of the fact that somebody now did so well in June, January is very far. Do you understand? So because somebody now did so well in June, that recency bias might come to play. That's also part of politics. Politics is a way of building strong professional relationship, supporting colleagues, collaborating across teams. They are all about politics and they are positive. Where it becomes toxic, where it becomes an issue is when we now start having backstabbing, gossiping, people taking credit for other people's work and so on. Not giving kudos enough to people that are doing the real work. Then that's when it becomes negative. That's when politics encourages healthy relationship at work. When it's played right. When everybody, so for example, everybody is pursuing a goal, probably our target is 100. Me, I'm doing 20. I'm like, I've done 20 today. You are just doing 19. I'm doing better than you. I want to strive to also do 21, to do 22. Before you know it, we are hitting our target for the team for the month or for the year, as the case may be. So that's what LD, politics brings. But when it now becomes an issue where other people are now beefing one particular person because that person is an flyer, they are now gossiping about that person. That's when I feel it becomes an issue. So it's two ways. If you put both on the scale, we should learn to balance. You can't negate everything, but we should learn to balance these things. Because bad politics might even affect the high flyers to now stop performing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So everybody should understand that whether you like it or not, yes, whether you like it or not, bias will always be there, either consciously or unconsciously, and the person that is even having this bias, why? It might be the track record of the other person that is making this person to be biased. Do you understand what I'm saying? It might be the track record. You yourself that you feel that person is biased towards you, the person is not praising you. You need to not look at what you are doing or what you need to adjust, basically, so that you also, you play your politics right and you do so well. at the end of the day, it's all about the growth, of the organization or the business, as the case may be. So I think that's just it for me, anyways.
So, Usman, just to circle back to what you said, right, regarding good politics and bad politics. The thing is, I think recently I was reading a book, right, on leadership, and then there was something that there's a fact that actually stuck with me that I'd like to bring into this conversation, where about 70%, 70 to 75% of Fortune 500 companies, when you look at their core values, it has something to do with either relationship, collaboration, and then teamwork. And that's how this politics comes in. So in an official setting where people might think about, oh, there's this bias coming and all that, I'm doing well, to piggyback to what Susan mentioned earlier, and then Abba, that you have people that are doing well, like their performance is almost the same. But the number of people that can grow, it's like a pyramid. Obviously you have more people at the bottom, so factors come into play that determines who leaves one position and then moves on to the next, right? So you might have 3-4 people that when you compare their productivity, things might seem, they're on an equal footing, but what's your relationship like with other people, right? Because I once had a boss that said it's easy to coach bad performance, yeah, but you cannot coach bad behavior. So you might have somebody who is productive, right, but has a bad working behavior with people, and then that can affect that person. And the person would in turn think that, oh, it's bias that is kicking in. After all, what does the other person that moved up have over me? That's one. Then number two, it is one thing for you to get something done, right? You got it done. Maybe your immediate boss knows you got it done. Your teammates know you got it done. But in the bigger picture, how visible are you? You get how visible are you? You need to ensure that whatever milestones you hit, those things are documented, right? And then you blow your own trumpet. Don't wait for someone else to blow your trumpet for you. You have to you have to, be visible enough that those that make decisions in your place of work, right, know of the value that you bring. Now, speaking on bad politics, right? We have people that might want to, Usman said we should strike a balance. We have visibility on the one hand, right? We have eye service on the other hand, right? So we should try as much as possible to understand the difference between the two. We should try as much as possible to understand that while you're trying to become visible, you do not take credit for other people's work. You get you're in a team, you understand, or a functional project, and then it was work. But you do not just go around trying to take full credit for that, because that would in the long run it's going to cause disharmony, right? Amongst the team, gossip, sabotage, all that small talk. So I would like to close by saying that leverage, relationship, visibility, right? These three things are very, very key in navigating growth in an official environment. So, Abba, I don't know if you want to add to that or you have a different perspective.
Yeah, Abba, before you add to that, I don't want to. Mohammed mentioned something about being productive and also having maybe like attitude that is not so good. So it just made me remember, like, have instances. In fact, I've been in a situation whereby I know that I did well. My performance was great. But at the time of appraisal, outcome was different, because what I was expecting was that, yes, I did, even if I'm not going to be of the high flyers, I was expecting that at least I'll be in the middle or something. But to my surprise, came off as I needed to prove on my performance. So like I was at least. So it came to me as a rude shock. I had to try to find out what the problem was. From my findings, I discovered that there were some issues that had happened that didn't even have to do with KPIs that were set, had to do with the interaction and some of the other personal issues that I had, previous year. So that was what actually influenced that decision. So it just came to my mind when Mohammed talked about being productive and also having a good attitude. So my attitude was not that it was bad, it was just like issues that
Well,
came up. But
Okay.
eventually, it affected my appraisal score. I had to deal with it and pass that now. And it actually made me realize some things. Even after then, there are some other circumstances and issues that have come up that made me, that's why, like I said earlier, emotional intelligence, being self-aware is very, very key in navigating office politics, because you need to understand yourself and understand the people you are working with, people you are relating with, because that will really help you. Once you know that, okay, this is how they are, you'll be able to manage them, because there are some people that you cannot just come across to and just say you want to make your own opinion stand, or you want to explain to them and say this is how to do it. Not that they will not listen, but you need to know where to tell them. If you are telling them maybe in a meeting or in a group, they will just not accept it, no matter how valid your point is. So there are some people that will take it in the open, but there are some people that want you to come and meet them and say, okay, you know what, that thing you discussed, yes, it's good like this, but what if we do it this way? So you not even come across as saying that you want your own to prevail. No, you just say, what if we try this way? It might work. So don't even say it like you're confident that it will work. So that one too is part of. So you really, really need to apply that emotional intelligence to be able to, and that is what I've come to realize. So something had to happen something had to give for me to really understand that. But I thank God that, I'm reaching
yeah.
around
Well,
now.
like for me. Okay, so before we even go on here, this is just to also use this opportunity to tell people on the call that if you have something to contribute to this conversation, you can as well unmute and we'll yield the mic to you. It's an open discourse, so it's open. The floor is open for everyone that wants to contribute. Even people that are dropping their comments in the chat room, you can also unmute to participate in this conversation. So, talking about what Tosin just mentioned about, having your KPIs and all those things, you feel you've done well for the year. But one thing about politics, or one thing that goes beyond KPI, is the conversation on the corridor. Whether we like it or not, they will always be there. It goes beyond just what you do on a daily operation. Is not just what keep the business. Even at the end of affair, the CEO has to be very diplomatic in the way and manner he interact with the regulators and the government. So the same thing applies in the office. You can be an high flyer for all the business care. But one thing about politics or office politics that we normally ignore is the fact that hard work alone is not enough. Whether you like it or not, hard work alone is not. So your assumption that your hard work can make you fly is never enough. Another thing is ignoring relationship building. Some people just feel, let me just come to the office, do my thing, carry my bag and go. It goes beyond that. Those informal socialization with your colleagues at work. That's why there's team building. That's why we do TGIF in our own office, for example. You can't just be ignoring those minute, characteristics. Those are accumulatively that works. Those are what makes you a complete team worker. When we say candor, it goes just beyond you meeting your KPIs. So for me, I feel like I said, we need to strike a balance in all these things. You don't. Okay, so for example, criticizing others in public, you are killing their morals. A good manager might feel like you might be an high flyer, but a good manager might feel you are not a good fit for my team. Not because you are not good, but because you are the type of person that you just criticize people anyhow. You engage in office gossip. You take side easily without hearing other people's opinion or other people's. Okay, so somebody just came to you that Usman is a very bad guy. That guy, even they follow anybody talk. And the next thing, you are carrying it all around the office that Usman is a bad guy. Without even, meeting Usman yourself to even understand the reason why. Probably it might be mood swing. Probably Usman, road safety stop Usman on the road before he got to work. And he was already angry, and so on. So several reasons why people might be happy today and tomorrow they just want to be in their lane. They just want to be on their own. They don't want to talk to anybody. So all these things, has a long way. So there are times that your manager might even come to the office with a bad mood, and the person will just talk to you anyhow, and you just assume, why is it that anytime I just walk up to this person like this, it's always very harsh? Do you understand? And unfortunately, it might be coincidental. It might not just be. Do you understand? So all these things we need to. Yeah, that's why I mean every time, you have to think both ways. Where Abba might be seeing 9, me, I might be seeing 6. That's why conversation is very, very important. If I'm now rigid and say that my 9 is 9, or is 9 is 9, I'm saying my 6 is 6. So we need to be able to come, to that corridor, have that common ground, have that conversation, and make things to move forward. So that's just it for me.
That's a very interesting concept, especially the you are seeing 9 and I am seeing 6. So now I wanted to ask a question, or rather throw this into the wind. The idea of eye service, it's part of office politics. It's a major part of office politics. But then what is eye service in its essence? Are you doing eye service for the people that only matter, or are you actually valuable that if anybody across the board asks you something, you do it without a doubt? So that's the fine line between eye service. Because if you are good at what you do, across the board, anybody can meet you and ask you, okay, I do this, and you do it within that time or ever. That makes you a very good individual. Then if you're only doing it because you want certain people to see it, and you're always like, oh yeah, you're kissing up or you're bending down and doing this because certain people are around, that is a different concept as well. Now it boils down to your own mindset from you as an individual. How do you carry yourself when you come to work? If you're the type like Usman mentioned, that you come to work and you just sit down on your seat, you don't move, you don't do anything, your office politics might not be up there because you're just visible. Your numbers on paper, excellent, but you don't have people skills. Again, that is another concept or another factor that files into your office politics. You don't greet anyone, or maybe it's just when the boss passes, oh yeah, good morning, sir. You don't speak to the person that's seated next to you. Your colleagues cannot rely on you on other things aside work. Sometimes it's good to have work life balance and just keep work at work and keep home at home, which is good for some people. But to some extent, oh yeah, if it's someone's birthday, oh yeah, happy birthday, it might go a very long way. I remember someone mentioning that they were very excited when their boss mentioned they called them to say happy birthday to them. It might sound very little, but it actually means a lot to some people. Some people don't care. Or you came late, you've been coming late. Let me just drop you by the roadside one day. Those kind of things are seen. It makes a person feel seen. Okay, you're struggling, let me help you out. Or you're struggling with a task, can I help you? Or you just let the person drown. These are what I look at as office politics, because you're also pushing for the team to be lifted up rather than you're on your own island and you're not bothering about nothing. So I also want to throw it back at you guys. What is too much eye service and what is being actually valuable?
I think let me just quickly come in here based off of what you said. Yeah. There are three things, and I would not just brief them, right? So one is relationship, two, visibility, three, eye service. So I'll take them one after the other, right? So relationship basically means, right, being accessible and approachable to everyone. You understand? Within the space of work, obviously. You understand? So you should have a professional working relationship, right, with people so that it doesn't affect the business or your job negatively. So that's one. Two, visibility is doing your work efficiently, right? And while doing your work efficiently, ensuring that decision makers, right, know that you're doing your work efficiently. You understand? Doing your work efficiently, regardless of whether you are under supervision or not, regardless of whether someone is watching or not, right? Being dependable. I'm sure we all know people that you could give them a task and go to bed. You know that it will be ready before the deadline. That's where visibility comes in. You should ensure that you take credit for your work and then don't wait for someone else to blow trumpet. Let it be known that, oh yes, I did that, right? Now, third one is eye service. And then sometimes we conflate these things. Eye service is only doing the job, right? When someone else is watching, also someone else can say, oh, so person did it. So for instance, right, you work in a bank, you understand, and then you're on the there's everybody has a certain number of persons to attend to. So on that fateful day, for instance, right? Because your branch manager is on the floor, or because the regional manager is available, right? You now try as much as possible to be working because someone is watching, so they can say, oh, Mohammed is very efficient on the job. Meanwhile, every other person knows that Mohammed is the weakest link on the team. You get services only doing the job because you want someone else to notice you, either because you're trying to appear better than your teammates, or you're trying to garner favor from those persons, right? And I'm sure that we've at some point during the course of our professional lives, we've met someone, people like that. Now, where it becomes a major problem and how it affects morale of the high flyer, yeah, is when someone is very good at doing eye service, right? Their teammates know that, oh, this person, bro, we know you will see every day. This is not you, right? And now, if that person that's in eye service is now growing up the career ladder because of the eye service they're doing, morale will drop and team productivity will drop. You get the general efficiency of that team, effectiveness of that team will drop. So the honest is on us to know the difference, right? And even as managers of people, you get should be don't necessarily micromanage, yeah, but be hands-on in your team so that you'd be able to identify who are the genuine, performance of your team and those that are just doing it to curry favor. Something else about eye service again, because it might not necessarily be somebody doing the job because the boss is there or because the decision makers are passing by. It might also be those ones that would, carry gossip from the team. You get, and I won't want to use the word snitch, but obviously you guys get what I'm saying. We'll carry gossip from within the team and then take it somewhere else, so that they the person that's taking that particular gossip gist to will not be like, oh yes, this person is in my corner. You get, oh, this person, I can, if there's an opportunity, give it to this person because I can trust this person to be bringing amebo. You get to so basically, health teams should try as much as possible to focus on what you call it, relationships, working relationships, and then visibility. But for eye service, that is it kills productivity, it kills morale, it kills motivation. I think I don't know if it made sense. Usman, I think you want to say something.
Yes. So for talking about eye service, there's a thin line. Okay. So what do I mean by this? We've had situations where the manager would be like, okay, instead of me just assigning this task to somebody, just throw it open to the house and say, who is going to do this? Do you understand? If you are in that type of environment where they are always throwing task open, and one person is always coming up to say, don't worry, I'll handle it. Don't worry, I'll fix it. Don't worry, I'll do it. Don't worry, it's done. That person is genuinely doing that work, and that person is getting noticed, whether you like it or not. That person is getting noticed because why is it that this task, it was the one that executed last week, this week the same person execute another task this week, like that. And so people are just in that thing floating. Whether you like it or not, it's just a matter of time before the leader will start, liking that person to say this person is efficient. Because every time I ask for somebody to volunteer, he's always there to do it. He's not dodging work and all. The other members of the team might be saying, why is he always the one? His eye service is too much. But the guy just wants to get the task done because is always open. The manager is always saying, who will do this for me? Okay, who will go and fix this? Who will go and complete this task? Who will go and talk to this customer? Who will go and talk to this client? Is always that person. Whether you like it or not, there is an unwritten record somewhere, subconsciously in the manager's mind, to say, we've seen situations where the manager will probably be on leave or not around, and the manager will randomly call into the office to say, who are those in the office? Is this person around? Is this person around? Is this person around? Do you understand? There are people that if once the manager here, this person is not around, he will start panicking, or she will start panicking, because he knows the people that are efficient in the team. Not because they are doing nice service, but their task or their work has spoken to them over time. So when you now feel that person is biased because the person just like this person, it's all about politics to you. No, sometimes it's not even about the so-called politics. It's about your own efficiency, your own ways of doing work, or getting things done, or getting work completed. Maybe you are the type of person that if they give you a task, a week after, they will be chasing after you. And somebody is there, they give the person, before the person will even send reminder, this person has gotten the work done. That task has been completed. Whether you like it or not, this bias will be there. I will always look for, okay, who can I give this work that I'll go to bed and sleep peacefully. I will not want to give somebody that task that I will now be the one chasing after this person. So we need to understand this thing, whether we like it or not. Yes, bias will always be there. Favoritism will always be there. But what are the things that is making all these things to be there? That's what we are saying. So at the end of the day, you need to learn to play your game right, whether you like it or not. Yes, you need to do your work, but then let your work speaks for you. Do you understand? Don't just do the work and just say, I'm just doing it because they asked me to do it. I'm just doing it. After all, at the end of the month, I'll collect my salary and go. It's not just about that. You have to carry your team along. You have to carry your manager along. Some managers don't like when they don't like surprises, basically. So you need to know the type of person you are even working with. You need to understand the type of person you are working with. Is it the same type of person that wants you to keep sending reminder for every? Do you understand? Some people want daily updates, whereas some people will just give you the work and close their eyes and be like, I trust you, you are going to get it done. But some people want you to carry them along every step of the way. I've done one today. They want you to say, yes, yes, I've done one. You do two tomorrow. Yes, I've done two now. Whereas some people just want you to do it 5 and just say, okay, that is done. It's closed. Do you understand? So we need to understand all these things. So that's why I said there is a tiny line between what we call eye service and what we call getting things done. You might see it as eye service. Other people might be seeing it as eye service. The person you are even reporting to might not even see it as eye service, because that's how he wants the report to be done. So we need to understand this thing. So that will be it for me.
Let me just quickly add something to what you said.
Yeah,
Right? Sorry.
okay.
Let me just quickly add something to what Usman said. Looking at the example of when tasks are being thrown around, and then it's just one person or two persons that are always willing and to take on those tasks voluntarily, right? By the time subconsciously that manager starts causing or start liking that person, you get when things happen, those other team members that shy away from work now starts having this victim mentality. You understand? Oh, they don't like it. Oh, they don't like me. They don't like me. So person is biased. As we are looking at how to grow in our careers, it's important that we always do a self-reflection. Let's be that self-aware to know that nobody wakes up in the morning. Rarely, maybe some people do, but rarely nobody wakes up in the morning to start thinking about how to make somebody unsatisfied. Everybody's after their own problems and their own goals. So having that victim mentality should be something that people should shy away from. Nobody is at war with you. Listen, sorry, you can go.
Yeah. So going back to the eye service and visibility, you know, in most cases, the people that do this eye service, they might not even be high flyers. They are not the productivity is not that good. But like both of you have rightly said, they do these things. They perform when the people they want to see performing are around. So that's when they do all these, and they do it's across board. Because when the manager is around, or whoever it is that they want to impress, they might even do it to you, their colleague. Like long run, they make you feel bad, make you look bad, I mean, in front of the manager. But there are some people actually that are actually high flyers. They perform well, but they still do high service. Like really, it's just they know how to edge the two, and it's working well for them. I've seen instances where people that perform well, like you cannot even catch them from not performing at all. So even when it seems like the manager is favoring them, if you want to look at their performance, they're doing well. So you can't even say anything. So they just know how to manage it. So they know how to cause it up to managers, to their colleagues. Like they're everywhere. When you even mention that name, there's no way you can say it is high service, because it's performing here, it's also doing the service very well. So that kind of person on the visibility rank is very high. And there are some people that are doing exceptionally well, but unfortunately they are not visible. So we've been talking about how we as employees, individuals, persons on our own should navigate this office politics. Sometimes the managers too, they need to give some some of their team members or people working in their team opportunity to also showcase their visibility, because being able to showcase your visibility is also tied to the kind of space that you're working in the sense that you'll be doing everything right. You are even coming up with ideas and all of that that you're sharing within maybe your immediate space, but you don't have that opportunity to showcase it to maybe the larger management group. So in that case, it's your manager that has that, sort of responsibility to make that happen. And while they're also like Mohammed and Usman mentioned that, okay, yes, you have somebody that is always volunteering to get things done. If you have that kind of manager, what you should do as a person is make sure that you are trying as much as possible to also volunteer to get things done. And if you are not in a situation where your manager throws the task open, because what some managers do is that they already know their team. So they've done like an evaluation of their team members, and they know who to give this task and who not to give this. They know where you are strong, where you're weak. So they will not even throw out the task. You just notice that they are giving this task to a particular set of people. If you notice that kind of thing and you want to be somebody that, or you think that you have the skill to actually do what they are doing, nothing stops you from walking up to your manager. Ah, sir, ma, or however they are being addressed. I've noticed that you give a particular task or some of this kind of tasks to this. I also have a skill in doing this. I've even done this and this and that, So you could walk up to your manager and let them know that you also possess the skills to carry out this task that they are giving to a particular set of people. So sometimes, like Mohammed and all of us have been rightly saying that you need to understand your manager. You need to understand your workspace to be able to navigate this politics. Because if you don't understand, you will not even know the strategies to use to actually get yourself being noticed. Mohammed has said you need to blow your trumpet. This is something like I had mentor-mentee discussion recently, and I was like, my own, I have this, I've done this, and all of that, and this. And the person said, oh, so your problem is not that you don't have confidence. Your problem is that you do not, promote yourself. So you need to be able to let people know. So at every opportunity you have, so it's not going this time around, it's not that you're bragging. But when you're in a conversation with somebody and when you see where that conversation is tending to, use that opportunity to tell yourself to an extent. Where the conversation is going to, You look at the things that you have done in that area, the things that you have, the skills that you have in that area, and use just somehow let it just flow into that conversation. And it is already somewhere in the at the back of the head of the person that you are speaking with, that okay, this person can do this person has this, you know. So try as much as possible to be able to promote yourself in every conversation you have. Build professional relationships, you know, like don't assume that your colleagues are your friends. No, they are your colleagues. They are not your friends. So you know the kind of relationship you are building, because when you start thinking that these people are my friends, you start expecting some kinds of you start having some kinds of expectation that you are not supposed to have, which eventually will now start coming up as maybe this person is that and all of that. You know, you start saying things. So you make sure your relationship is professional. And I will mention it again, value. Value. You need to bring value. You need to be known for your consistency. You need to be known for your competence. You know, be somebody that delivers results. Let you be that person that when people are talking, even when you are not there, they say the same thing about you. It's not that this one is saying this. No, let everybody have that same perception about you. Let me stop here and because
Okay, guys, let me paint a scenario back. Let's say Mr. A and Mr. B. We are seeing this scene from the angle of leader and subordinate angle. Let's even see it, as politics between people of the same level, for example. Now, let me paint a scenario. Abba is somebody that all of us work with. We are always, probably Abba is our auditor, or is the person that gives approval for something, right? Myself, every month, even if I don't need Abba's help, I just randomly send Abba a message checking up on him, wishing him happy birthday, happy new month, happy new week, as the case may be. But Mohammed is the type of person that he doesn't even send Abba. He only remembers Abba anytime he needs help, right? Those are two persons. Mohammed, nobody is doing anything wrong. Mohammed is not doing anything wrong. After all, we are not friends. We are just colleagues, right? I don't need to send you happy new month, happy birthday. We just do our work and go. But me, I'm going beyond just that, right? I will randomly call Abba to gist about Arsenal, to say, you see, you people are not going to carry Champions League this week. Now, we are now in a tight deadline where both of us need Abba. Who do you think Abba would probably, give support first? This is a question I'm throwing to the house. Two different persons. One person is having relationship with Abba beyond just work, and the other person is just remembering Abba anytime he needs help. What do you think Abba would respond to first when both of us needs him? That's politics. Whether we like it or not, that's politics. That's basically the summary of everything we've been discussing since morning. So it just even goes beyond what the conversation or the interaction or the relationship we are having with your boss. Even among ourselves, colleagues, which type of relationship are we having? Right? There are people that will call me 11 p.m. that will not pick. And there are people that will call me 1 a.m. I'll be like, for this person to call me at this time. Do you understand what I'm saying? We are all colleagues, right? But I know that this person, is somebody that is always having my back. This person is somebody that is trustworthy. This person is somebody that is reliable. I will always go for somebody that is reliable and trustworthy. So whether we like it or not. So I have golden rules. I have 10 golden rules, when it comes to office politics. Number one is building relationship before you need them. That's explained with my scenario. Building relationship before you need them. Number two is being known for competency and integrity, right? Number three is understanding people, not just processes, right? Number four is managing your reputation carefully. Then number five is staying away from gossip and office drama. Yeah? Number six is communicating with respect. It's part of our core value. Majority of the offices that I've seen, part of their core value is respect and integrity. It's always there. I always look out for companies' core value. And one thing you will not miss from office core value is always about respect. It's always about integrity. Then number seven is being visible without being boastful. right? Then number 8 is influence through trust, not authority. Then number 9 is supporting others' success. So clap for others when they are doing well. Don't beef, just because your own time too will come. So number 10 is to always act ethical. So thank you very much, guys.
Usman, I don't know if you can post that on the chat.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Yes. I've been eerily quiet.
I'm soaking up as much as I can because we have something that Usman just mentioned about having that balance of visibility and stuff like that. There is a comment in the comment section that I wanted to read out. So someone mentioned, Hassan mentioned that even this even goes beyond the office space. He said even in our own homes and marriages, we often have to navigate with a level of diplomacy with our in-laws and parents just to manage and balance very difficult conversations. He said he picked it up of something Usman mentioned or Usman was emphasizing earlier. So I think this is very interesting because when you are being diplomatic in the office or in a space in general, you have to know at what level you become diplomatic to this person or what level you become diplomatic to that person. Sometimes you need gunship diplomacy, sometimes you need preemptive diplomacy, you need different levels of diplomacy. So diplomacy in this case is a very key word or key term that you can expand onto. Coming back to office politics, doing the eye service and whatnot, I would also want to say that that person that is doing the eye service, imagine doing eye service. Let's say you work 10 hours and you're doing eye service for 9 hours. So technically, you're being productive. It's just that you're doing it because your boss is there. So in turn, you're actually gaining all the eye service brouhaha that you think it's only when he's around and stuff like that. You're still doing the work, but in his absence, you might not do it, which might be the issue. But if you're used to doing it already, just go on with it and keep your values straight. We've mentioned a lot of things, and I would like to bring them all together. We've mentioned Tosin mentioned to always have value or show value wherever it is that you are working to avoid um, being seen as not being productive or not being visible enough. It also leads into the point of being visible that Mohammed mentioned, that you have to be visible in a sense that you're being seen as to you do this, this is what you're doing, this is the kind of value you are bringing to the team. And then you also mentioned something that it's not about putting in the hard work. Our previous session mentioned working smarter, not harder. So you can easily come in and put in the hard work, but you don't have that office relationship that will nudge you into the next step. As Osman mentioned, if you just pass by, how far your team won this evening, or da 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 da, little things will imprint you. There is a movie, Focus, where they imprinted a number into someone's brain just by the person seeing it multiple times. So things like that, if you're being visible, you're being seen a couple of times, you're being seen multiple times, you're being seen all the time as this is the person that can do this is the person to go to, this is the right person. If you walk into an interview for a promotion and they also just he's him, let's just formality. So it leads up to that. So for me, office politics means starts rather, not means from your own self value, start straight, be true to yourself and have that value that you would show that value, and then keep a decent relationship with your co-workers, with your bosses, and I believe everything should go well. I think we have another comment. Okay, so Osman has posted the golden rules thriving office politics. So I'll hand over to someone else to take us home.
Yeah, so just a closing thought, like your competence, your qualification, it may earn you a seat at the table to get you into the organization, but that relationship, the value and your integrity is what will actually determine how far you go in that organization. So let's always remember that value, relationship, and integrity. These three things are very key in making you be successful, career-wise, personal-wise. Because even like Hassan commented, that on your own front, you need to, that politics is just something you cannot avoid. So with all this that we've discussed, I'm sure we'll be able to point out those ways that you can actually navigate it in a healthy manner, so that you'll be able to have that positive influence over others and your interaction, and also self-awareness, emotional intelligence, very key.
Okay, so
Thank you very
my own closing thought here is to remember, or to remind us rather again, that we don't have to play dirty politics to succeed at work. We need to hold that very dearly to our heart. You don't have to play dirty. The most effective professionals building influence through relationship, credibility. That's the most effective professionals. They build influence through relationship, credibility, visibility, and trust. Thank you very much.
So I think I would just like to add one more thing, right? So I think I have something I jotted, right? So I'll say it and then also drop it on the chat box, right? So the thing is, it is one thing for us to be competent, yeah, because competence probably just gets you noticed, right? But when you have a good character, right, it earns you trust of people that are decision makers, right? Relationships that you'll have, even with people above you, below you, or your peers, right, would always create opportunities for you, right? But the most successful people are those that combine these three, right? Character, competence, and relationship. So that's my closing thought. Abba?
That's very insightful closing thoughts, because if you look into the characters you just mentioned, having, I would like to add also having confidence in what you do, having the know-how, and again, that visibility is very important, especially if you want to be seen, if you want to progress. Again, I'll still go back to you having your own self values of this, you're coming to work, you're doing it diligently, and you are moving in the right direction. It will also help you avoid being called eye service or whatever it is that people term it, or it will also keep you in that visible eye of what we need to achieve. So with that, I don't know if anybody has anything else to add. We can wrap up and have a wonderful rest of our afternoon. So would anybody like to add anything from the audience, from the comment section? Anyone? Let's give it a couple of minutes to see before we wrap up. I'd like to also say, give a shout out to one of our previous speakers that's in the audience. Hi, Rema. It's a pleasure having you here. Maybe we might have you soon again in a panel type of discussion for you to give us things on personal branding and finding yourself. Great. So if we don't have any other things to add, I would like to say a big thank you to everybody that joined and everybody that was. Thank you to Rama for everybody that joined and everybody that has shared their thoughts here on the platform. For people that have commented and people that have missed out, can go on our YouTube channel or our WhatsApp channel, even our LinkedIn channels, to find our recordings. You can also drop chats, particularly on our YouTube and LinkedIn page. You can drop chats and then somebody will reply to you. If you also need guidance from any of our sessions, if you reach out to us, we would be happy to give you more insight of things that we have spoken about. So with that, I would like to say a very big good afternoon, good evening, and probably good morning to some people that are around the world, because we are international and we are the Value League. So thank you very much and have a lovely rest of your weekend.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.